Alright, so this is where we had stopped in the previous lesson, which is we built the full armor and detailed it essentially. So what I want to do in this particular chapter is to connect these center points and form some kind of like an exoskeleton, on top of the armor. So one of the things I want to do before that is let's just come here. I'm going to make the 0.002. So it's a little more cleaner. Okay, that looks interesting enough. Okay, so what we're going to do is these points that we had generated, okay, the center points, I want to export them out along with the sphere. So, so what we're going to do is we'll just, create a null and just bring these out separately over here. I'll just call this points and we'll create a group of these. And call these points and just merge them. And then we can come in here like after this and do a blast and just get rid of points. So we have this left. Hold on a second. Yeah, this should be points. Yeah, okay. So I can separate this out and we'll do delete non-selected. So we just have these points left with us. So the first thing is I want some normals on these so I can have like, lines kind of sticking out from this, because it's right now it's like on the exact height as the armor. I want it to be like, slightly up here. So what we'll do is we're going to firstly need normals on this because this doesn't have any normals. And I want to get the normals from this thing here. Okay, so I'm just going to take this, do Control C, Control V. We'll do a mirror. Yeah, and let's just bring this down. Or actually, let's do one thing. We'll take these points before the mirror. Not from here. So I just have like half of them. Yeah. So what we can do is let's just take this and yeah, let's do a peak. We don't need the mirror anymore. Yeah, and then this has normals. No, let's just give it normals. So we'll do wrangle and we'll just give it normals. So we'll do like at n is equal to at n. Yeah, and then we'll do a transfer. So we just want normals. Yeah, so there you go. So we have normals. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we'll take a line and we'll just copy it onto this. So we'll do a copy to points and let's just copy it onto that. And we'll put it in the Z axis. Yeah, okay. So if I just lower the length of this, see, so this is basically what we want. Okay, now the second thing we want is, let's just give this a little bit of, let's push it a little inwards. So I'm just going to take the origin of this and just push it negative, in the Z axis. So it goes a little inwards like that. And then just for a very simple shape, I can give it a polywire. So I'll just take a polywire over here and make it smaller and give it about 20 sides. So what that should do is if we merge them together, I should get, so I should get something like this. Not all the holes are being found in the center, like some of them are causing issues, but that's okay. Like those problems will sort of remain. Let me just lower the size of this a little bit. Okay, so now what we can do is, and then of course we'll have to mirror this as well. So we can just mirror this and you can give it a color. And I think we'll need to give it a normal as well. Like I think that's the problem. Yeah, that's why it's turning black. Okay, so we can just take a color and make it darker. Yeah, I think this is fine. Let's also do one thing. Let's temporarily just bypass the smoothing Yeah, because that does take a lot of time to calculate. Okay, so this is fine. Like we have the basic, like a plug in there. But now what I want is I want these to connect in the middle. So what we'll do is I'm going to take this line that we have and we're going to carve it. So not from the base, from the top, like towards somewhere in the middle of this, like over here. And then I'm going to do a for each because I want to select the top points. Okay, so we're going to do a for each and we'll say for each primitive and just take a group by range. Okay, plug it in the middle and then switch this to points. We'll call it top and just get the start value to 1. So it'll just end up selecting, the top point. And then if we come back out and take a blast, and we can say delete top, non-selected. Yeah, so we have everything on top. And so now what I can do is you will find something called as connect. So we can just take connect adjacent pieces and we'll just say connect adjacent points and just increase the distance. Yeah, till you get, something like that. And just to sort of see it, if I just do like a Control-C, Control-V here with a mirror. Yeah, and if we just merge it into this, see, so we have this, so which looks pretty nice, overall. Now what you can do is we can lower it so that it doesn't go too far. Okay, so I can just lower how much it wants to connect. Yeah, so it shouldn't be like too complicated or too crazy. Yeah, I think this is good enough. Okay, now another thing we can do, like since we have done this much, is I wanted to sort of curve out, like be like they're kind of going through because naturally they connect in straight lines. So what I would like to do is to just have it kind of curve out this way, okay, like over the body. Okay, so what we can attempt here is let's just try this. Okay, so I'm just going to take this or these points that we have, and yeah, these are mostly individual lines, so which is fine. Okay, so what we can do is we can take a for each again. So let's take a for each primitive. Okay, so we have like individual pieces and then we can do a resample. And then what we want is, I want this thing again. So let's just do Control-C, Control-V and bring this here. And I also want to select the first and the last. So I only want to do like a race off with the middle points. Okay. So we'll again do a group by range. We'll do point, select first and second. So we just have the middle points. And then let's just try to do a race op. Or let's try something else, right? Let's try to do let's do a transfer. Let's just try this and see if this works. So we're going to transfer the normals. Okay, so I'm just going to do like pick this up, do Control-C, Control-V. Bring this down, and then we just want to transfer normals. So we should have that, okay, which looks fine. And then I can do a peak, and let's just do a peak here, but we only want to work with mid. Yeah, so we get something like that. Let's see what this looks like. See, so we'll get something like this. See, they're all kind of like moving out. So if we look at it along with this, I don't know how it'll look. Yeah. Okay, that looks interesting. Yeah, see, so it kind of like moves over this thing, which actually looks pretty decent. But we can try to smoothen it out. Okay, so let's try to smoothen it out. So let's just come in here and let's try to do a smooth. Yeah, which looks decent. So if we look at it now, yeah, they're mostly good. Okay, like we can try to do a little bit more. Yeah, see, so you get these nice little arcs happening, okay, which is pretty cool. So I can just take this and then bring it here. Yeah, see, so we're getting like this nice little arcs kind of going all over the place, which looks pretty cool. So we don't get those intersections anymore. Okay. Okay, so let's also do one thing. I want to resample this a little more. So let's try 0.06. Okay, I think that looks nice. Or 0.08. Okay, and then what I also want to do is I want to give it some thickness naturally. So we'll do this here itself. So I'm going to take this point and then we'll do a wrangle. And what I want to do is they'll be thinner on the edges and they'll get thicker in the middle. So I'm just going to take, we'll do at width is equal to, we're going to generate a ramp using the point numbers. Okay, so we'll just do we'll give it a name and we'll make it at ptnum divided by float of at numpt, another bracket, and then we'll multiply it by a single variable so we can control additional thickness. So we'll just call it th. Yeah, and then if I click here, okay, this is good. And let's rename this to something so that we can use it later. So let's just give it a shape. Yeah, let's try this and then we'll give it some color. Yeah, I think yellow is fine. We'll just call it thickness control. So if you bring it out and we'll do a polywire, and if we do at width, yeah, see, so we're getting something like that. The normals is the problem. So we'll just plug in normal over here. Yeah, and then what I can do is I can just take this and let's just see what it looks like. We'll see it on the whole thing, so we get a good idea of what is going on. So firstly, they need to be thinner. And then secondly, let's set these to, let's do B-spline for both. And let's make this, thinner here and there. Let's try to increase this in the middle. Or let's try to go opposite. Let's try to keep this higher. No, the other way around. Yeah, it's looking a bit like a banana, but okay. I'm just going to keep it there for now. Yeah, so there you go. You get something interesting looking on top. So I'm just going to, we'll do a group and we'll do group edges and turn on the minimum edge angle. Okay, and then we'll do a poly bevel. Yeah, so we'll pick up bevel and 0.01. Okay, that's too much. 0.07. Yeah, okay. So we come back to the normals and we'll say 30 degrees and make it like face area. Yeah, I think this is fine. Let's do one thing, right? Let's bring this, the color stuff that we were doing. Let's bring this, let's cut this out. And let's do it after the merge. Let's do it here. So that should be interesting enough. Yeah, so you're getting a little bit over here, not a lot. Yeah, I think the values are completely different. Yeah, there you go. See, so now you're getting something. Yeah, probably not the best idea. But anyways, so this is essentially, like if we bring this back here, I have something, see, so I have something like this. It reminds me, it's like a bit like that film called Elysium, that Matt Damon movie where you had where he had that big chunky armor that he was wearing. This is not very chunky, but yeah, there you go. You can do something like that. Okay, so this is as far as the basic, armor is concerned. So the next lesson will be relatively simple because we're just going to repeat some of this. I want to create a similar armor piece for the breast area, and then we'll start with, something else. So let's just take care of the breast area in the next lesson.